It was all action today in the World Cup. Brazil, my favourites, beat Mexico 2-0, and Belgium and Japan put on the game of the tournament. Welcome to my Matchday 18 World Cup review. I would love to start with Brazil, but I have to start with Belgium versus Japan. First 45 minutes, it was a good game. Second 45 minutes, it was a great game. Japan came out of the blocks in that second half. Two wonderful goals. The second, Courtois had no chance. Inu picked up the ball from Kagawa just outside the box and hit a swerving shot that just kept bending and bending away from Courtois. Two goals in a matter of minutes. Belgium were shell-shocked. Roberto Martinez was shell-shocked. He didn't make any changes until about 10-15 minutes. I think maybe he thought his players would get back into it, but the way the game was going at that point, it looked like Japan could have got 3, possibly 4. Luckily for Belgium, and congratulations, well done to Roberto Martinez, he made a few tactical changes, brought on Nacer Chadli and Marouane Fellaini, moved Kevin De Bruyne further forward up the pitch, and it reaped rewards. First, Jan Vertonghen got one back to make it 2-1, and then that man, Marouane Fellaini, with his celebration. Marouane Fellaini stepped up, and it's a bit unfair when Belgium were getting their set pieces because they were like 6 foot. All of them were like 6'2", and all the Japan players looked about 5'2". They couldn't win their header for love nor money, so they just kept piling players, piling crosses into the box, and finally Marouane Fellaini got his head on one, past the keeper, 2-2, and from then on it was only going to be one winner. That was the reality of it. But it took until the 94th minute. Dramatic scenes. Japan had a corner. In the end, Courtois claimed it, rolled it out to the edge of the box, and there was De Bruyne striding forward in the way that he does. Lukaku ran inside, left a space on the right for Muner. Perfectly found, perfectly weighted ball by Kevin De Bruyne. Muner didn't have to break stride, right across the face of the box. Lukaku, with a bit of attention from Yoshida in the middle, dummied, left it to Nacer Chadli at the back post to stroke in for a 3-2 win. Now, as I said, I don't know if it was the best game of the tournament. We've had some great ones. The 3-3 with Spain and Portugal, the 4-3 with France and Argentina, but this was definitely the best 45 minutes without a shadow of a doubt. This is what the World Cup is all about, and when Japan went 2-0 up, I think everyone's thinking, including myself, that it's going to be another shock on the cards, because this seems to be the World Cup of shocks. The big teams ain't faring too well, some of them anyway. The small teams seem to be getting a bit of joy, and we thought this might just be a case of that, but Belgium were not going to have it. Brilliant performance as well from Eden Hazard. He got the man of the match. He kept going from minute 1 right until the end. And they're going to meet Brazil, who beat Mexico in the other last 16 tie in the next round. That is surely going to be a brilliant game. Brazil, it was of course about the main man, NEYMAR. This was his moment. He's been growing into the tournament little by little. We know he came into it with an injury, and in the last game against Serbia, you could see he was coming back to something nearer his best. And I think this game against Mexico just showed that he was ready now. This is his moment to try, I'll say try, I think he will, but try and take this World Cup by storm and claim it as his own, you might say. We know what happened 4 years ago in Brazil, where he was doing what he had to do to get his team to the quarterfinals, and he got that very, very unfortunate and cynical injury. against Colombia, and it all came down. So this is a bit of redemption for him and Brazil, and I think they put in definitely their best performance of the tournament. Solid at the back. Obviously we know Mexico are very dangerous. They've knocked out the holders, Germany, and on the counter-attack they've got the pace of Lozano, Carlos Vela and Javier Hernandez, and so they were always a danger going forward, but Brazil coped with it admirably. Fagner at right back and Felipe Luis at left back had a lot of work to do, but they did it very, very well. Fagner even going forward, he looked pretty dangerous. Willian on the right hand side, I think for me, I was calling for this performance because he was, I would say, underwhelming, and especially the first 2 games. Costa came on for him in those and proved to be much more effective. For me, it's only because of Costa's injury why Williams kept his place, but today he put in a performance. You can see he had fire in the belly. He was direct, right at his defenders. He was going on the outside of his fullback. He was coming on the inside towards the midfield. He had everything about his performance today was brilliant. He got the assist for Neymar's opener on the left hand side, drove past the defender and left-footed drilled cross across the box for Neymar to tap in, as Gabriel Jesus hasn't had a good tournament so far. He tried to slide in and take it, missed it, and Neymar was there to make it 1-0. And obviously Mexico came forward. That left many openings and opportunities for Brazil on the break. They finally were able to take one. At that point, Firmino had come on, and there was a slight change in structure for Brazil. They went to a 4-2-4 with Willian and Neymar wide and Firmino and Jesus through the middle, with Fernandinho, he had come on by then, in the middle with Casemiro. So they had that solid base and they still had their attackers. And Neymar raced away on the left hand side, and for me it was a shot. He tried, Ochoa, the goalkeeper, got a slight foot to it, deflected it into the path of Firmino to tap in. 2-0, good night, see you later Mexico. Brazil are warming up. I think every game, without a shadow of doubt, they have improved from the previous game. So I'm expecting that game against Belgium, that quarterfinal, to be the tie of that round. 2 big teams with 2 massive expectations. This is Belgium's golden generation. You could say this is going to be their final World Cup together. They've probably got another Euros in them, but their final World Cup together with a lot of players coming to the age around the 30s, or if not past that, the likes of Vincent Kompany, etc. But Brazil, they're on a mission. Neymar is on a mission. Coutinho, he's had a brilliant tournament so far. You could say he's proved that he's worth every penny of the 140 million that Barcelona paid for him. If he can produce against Belgium in the quarterfinals, he might be staking his name for Player of the Tournament 2018. It's going to be a brilliant game. I'm backing Brazil, of course, but we know Belgium are dangerous. That's it from me with your review on this match day 18, and I'll see you soon.